Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. Welcome to another market open stream. Unfortunately, Bitcoin is lower today. We have to prepare for the volatility because there is so much going on in the world, and we got a big speech to look forward to, the State of the Union, and that's coming tonight. So let's get ready. Let's talk about everything that's happening today. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are, like I said, unfortunately starting out lower than yesterday. We are now, unfortunately, under $63,000. Not a point. Not a point we want to be. Now we are closer to 60K than we are back to that 67 mark that we were actually holding pretty well above until the last few days. There is just so much fear out there right now, so much uncertainty, and everyone is looking for Trump to reassure people that the economy and their money is going to be okay, because all the uncertainty, not all, well, you could argue all, it's under his tenure, but most of it is around the tariffs, the trade deals, the trade wars, and all the other stuff. Obviously, there's geopolitical like wars and stuff like that too, but there's just so much. Yesterday was a horrible day for U.S. markets, right? Let's see if today we can eke out a green. Right now, Dow is starting out green, but NASDAQ and S&P is down. So everyone's looking for some answers, some reassurance tonight. This is going to happen around 9 Eastern, 8 Central. And Trump is going to talk about how the state is, how the United States is, and what he plans on doing to turn things around. Obviously, since October, we have seen a steep decline with not only Bitcoin and crypto, but with US markets, with tech, with everything, AI. Seems like everything's kind of falling apart. And this tariff situation with the Supreme Court, well, that kind of made things worse. It kind of made Trump mad. And now he's retaliating once again using tariffs. And it seems like he's breaking these trade deals that were already set. For example, Europe, the EU. The EU and the US has a trade deal. They were about to vote on it. Now they're like, no, we're not going to vote on it because the US has just said they're going to put a blanket 15% tariff on the world. So what's the point of the trade deal then, right? The funny thing is, I thought when he said that excluded countries or regions that already formed a trade deal. Like we have a trade deal with Taiwan, with Vietnam, with China, with the EU, with a whole bunch of countries. But if he's going to put a blanket global tariff on top of everyone, including the nations that have a trade deal, that makes no sense. If I was these countries, I would be pissed off too. That makes no sense. That's like negotiating a price for a car or a home, and all of a sudden the seller's like, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm going to slap on a 15% tax on top of what we already negotiated. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So this is also causing more uncertainty. Just when we thought that we could kind of get past it, we got some clarity. Now there's even less clarity. So that is what everyone's waiting for, Trump to give some clarity, okay, in these uncertain times. And people want to know that the economy is going to turn around. And they're not looking for years. They're not waiting for 2-3 years to turn around. They want things to turn around right now, right? Obviously, with tariffs or inflation, combination of both, things have not gotten cheaper, okay? Groceries, services, goods, they have not gotten cheaper. Even this, automakers could start raising prices. You know, price of cars have skyrocketed over the last few years. And there are some dealerships that refuse to negotiate. Not only that, they add in, they charge over MSRP, like Toyota. You try to go get a new RAV4, just a normal car, RAV4, a new 4Runner, they will tack on additional fees like dealer adjustments because they know they can. And now these automakers could even raise prices even more because of what's going on. Right? So it's not good. It's not good, okay? It's not just crypto related, although all of us, why you guys are watching is because you're in crypto. I get it. But this is much bigger. This is the entire nation and includes everyone that's not in crypto. Anyone that invests, okay, is getting affected by what's going on. Jamie Dimon, the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, he's even ringing the dire bell or warning bell, saying, watch out, watch out. There are a lot of risk, economic risks that is here, right? So, yeah, the State of the Union is going to be very important, guys. Very, very important tonight. Let's see what Trump is going to say. I'm sure he's going to talk about tariffs. I'm sure he's going to bash the Supreme Court. But will he do something like something drastic and say, we're going to deliver that $2,000 paycheck, tariff rebate check to all Americans starting today? Something like that. He needs to turn things around and regain the confidence of the people, right? So there could be something big that's announced tonight. Or maybe he's going to declare that the United States have started buying Bitcoin. I doubt it. That's not a place to say that. But you know what? Maybe that's something too, because, you know, him and his family are into crypto. It's a big part of his agenda. Maybe that will be announced. You know, these are great things that I'm going to be putting on Clash Picks, and among other things. But outside of State of Union, you know, for the rest of this week, we have a few other things. I mean, there's some economic data coming up, but, you know, on Friday, we're going to get another inflation report, PPI report. So it's really today. On Thursday, we're going to get some earnings like NVIDIA. And I believe Target is also Thursday. But I think this is probably the biggest event of this week, right? And it's going to be tonight. It's after market closes. So it's around 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern time, okay? All right, now going back to Bitcoin and crypto. Yesterday we did have outflows once again. Minus 200 million for Bitcoin, minus 50 for ETH, 0 for XRP, which is good, and 8 million for Solana. Solana is actually still doing really well. So we're seeing more inflows, but they're small, very small inflows, but still they're positive. So right now, obviously there are still a lot of people that are very fearful. Even some Bitcoin people. Yesterday I covered a mining company called BitDeer sold their entire Bitcoin holdings. They came out with some lame excuse saying that they're evaluating land or whatever, but they're a Bitcoin mining company. How do you think that looks when a Bitcoin mining company sells off all of their Bitcoin, right? That was probably the worst PR move they could have done. So obviously there are a lot of people that are very, very fearful, right? But the good thing is other Bitcoin mining companies are not doing that. They're expanding, they're holding, they're buying more, and we still have companies that are loading up. Not everyone is fearful. There are some that are taking advantage of the dip. I know for a fact that a lot of long-term holders, a lot of public trade companies, a lot of institutions are taking advantage and loading up despite the volatility that we have. Because no one knows the exact bottom, but what we do know is this: we're a lot closer to bottom than we are to top. And we're over 50% down from the top. So, and we got a lot of metrics on our side, but in the meantime, there are a lot of scary things, a lot of uncertainty that's causing all this volatility right now. So, you know, the strong is staying strong, and the weak is getting weeded out. You got this also, 16 billion Emirates Bank that just announced that they are going to buy Bitcoin, a 1% allocation, right? Again, this is a golden opportunity. If you love Bitcoin at 126, why would you not love it more, a lot more, when it's discounted at 63? Right? I've always made this argument. Like, people love the FOMO on top, but they hate buying at bottoms. But think about it. If it was anything else in your life that you're buying that you really, really wanted, and then it goes on sale, 50% sale, you would jump on it, right? It could be a brand new bike. It could be a new drone, a new camera, a new console. It could be anything. A new appliance. If it had a 50% discount, you would be jumping all over that, right? But why not Bitcoin? You loved it at 126. You should love it a whole lot more now. So, food for thought. Now, like I mentioned, there are a lot of people that have sold, that have lost. Most of that is an unrealized loss, by the way, not realized loss. But regardless, that could actually be a good thing. That's one of the metrics that we have that actually measures whether or not we're going to turn around. We have a lot of metrics like that. Here's one, measuring realized profit loss ratio, 90-day moving average. And we have broken into the red. And the last 3 times we have broken into red, guess when they were? They were bottoms of crypto winter. Right? So we have fallen to those levels. This last cycle has been very weird, but we have similarities. We are as fearful and as oversold and as many people with losses as previous crypto winters. Think about that. Think about it, right? Oh, yeah, I want to show this first. This is also showing that. RSI, which shows basically how oversold Bitcoin is on a weekly scale, has fallen lower than when Mt. Gox was hacked, the only Bitcoin exchange that existed. Has fallen lower than a 2018 bottom, lower than a COVID crash bottom, lower than the FTX crash bottom, lower than the Terrace bottom. So that is how oversold we are right now. And a death cross is imminent in 3 days. Okay? Death crosses generally, they're not good. That's why they're called death crosses. However, on a longer scale, death crosses can be absolutely fantastic because that shows you how oversold we are. And that's usually when we find a base and then we recover from there. On a longer term scale, death cross is actually a good thing. in the majority of the cases, not every time. There are still some death crosses where Bitcoin goes lower. But if you zoom out, you realize that death crosses, and a lot of times, especially during crypto winters, that's when Bitcoin turns around. Again, that's why we have people that are accumulating. People that know this is a great time to be buying, even though there's volatility, and even though we could go even lower. But look at that. Look at accumulation addresses. Started skyrocketing recently. The metric looks very different than previous cycles. We just have so much more whales and institutions and companies that are getting involved now. So if you look at accumulation addresses, they're skyrocketing much higher than previous cycles, right? But this goes to show you there are a lot of people that are still accumulating, holding, still believing, not giving up on Bitcoin. And, you know, outside of the metrics and technicals and signals, obviously we have the geopolitical and macro stuff, right? Macro is also very important. The reason why FOMC meetings, why Powell or the next Fed chair is so important, because they will drive the macro conditions that we face in the US, but not just the US, worldwide. The world follows what the US does financially. So when we start having more quantitative easing, when the rates get cut, when the liquidity starts flowing, that helps Bitcoin, right? And that is anticipated to happen later this year. We will get more rate cuts, right? And especially seeing how the economy is now, we just got done talking about State of the Union, there's going to be a lot of pressure. I mean, there has been a tremendous amount of pressure towards Powell to cut, but we will be getting a new Fed chair. And how is he going to sway the new, or the existing governors, I should say, right? Could be a big turning point later this year when easing starts. All right. That is it. Look at this. Look at this. The U.S. market has turned green today. Dow is plus 400. NASDAQ plus 143. I guess Wall Street is expecting some good things to be said tonight. Or this is just a relief rally because, you know, yesterday was horrible. Last week was horrible. Could be. But we will see what gets said tonight. Are things going to get better? Are we going to get a rebate check? Are we going to get more rate cuts? Or are we going to get more tariffs all around? That's not what we want. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Most traders are snowed in. I know there is a big blizzard or snowstorm on the East Coast. So I know that's happening. But, you know, at least they could stay home and trade at home or watch me or go on Clash Picks. We got so many on here. All right, we got a brand new one. We actually had a lot of events around the State of the Union, but unfortunately they closed early, so we reopened it. But we do have a lot on here. So if you want to make a prediction on what Trump will say tonight, you got 12 hours to put in your prediction, right? Is he going to talk about Bitcoin crypto or America or Joe Biden or Supreme Court? What is he going to say the most, right? And we're going to have other ones on here relating to the State of the Union. All right, what name is he use go? What name is he going to use the most, right? What about that rebate check? We have a couple predictions on it already, but will he announce that tonight? And we got others too. Got a whole bunch of others. Zach XBT, I mentioned this last night. He says he's going to investigate some company for insider trading. A lot of people think it could be World Liberty Financial, which is Trump backed, or it could be Pump.Fun, or it could be some other project. Who knows? And now we're tri-currency in Clash Picks. We got P Clash, which is given out for free. And you can see all the P Clash, like live activity. It's all P Clash. A lot of people are just using P Clash, which is great. We got Clash, and now we have Sol. We're tri-currency on Clash Picks. Looks like tonight we may be, right now we're recovering a little bit. Silver and gold is down today. I see all the stocks like MicroStrategy's up. Coinbase, Robinhood, Nvidia, Broadcom all down. Clash is up. It's the only thing really on my list that's green. It's about 32 million. So like I mentioned, we had a horrible hack yesterday with Clash. So one of the day one people that bought in, he had about $1 million worth of Clash. His wallet was hacked, and the hacker sold it all. One dump. But the community is strong. Just ate that up like it was nothing. So that shows you how strong the Clash community is. But we are doing well. Bitcoin seems to be coming up a little bit today from that 62 mark, which was bad, but we're still in the 63 mark. We need to get closer back to 67. JL Molly. S2K, that's the hack. That wasn't 200K. The hacker sold $1 million of Clash, and the 1 million due to slippage turned into 220K or something like that. Guys, there's no conspiracy here. If you wanted to dump and you had $1 million worth of Clash, you wouldn't do it in one setting. You would spread it out. You'd do it over 10 times or 20 times to decrease the slippage. No one would do it and have an 80% slippage. It makes no sense. So all these guys are saying, oh, come on, you know better. No, you guys just don't know what you're talking about. I know the guy. He's a Discord regular, and he's been talking to me, and I've been trying to help him. So it's not some inside conspiracy or someone that's doing it on purpose. He could do it, but he just lost a whole bunch of money. That's just stupid. Thoughts on a brand new Cybertruck at 59K? Looks like demand is going up. Oh, demand is not going up, my friend. Why do you think they lowered the price of Cybertrucks? They're not lowering their price because demand is going up. That makes no sense. They would raise the prices. The fact that they came out with a $60,000 Cybertruck, they had to remove a lot of stuff, but honestly, I don't see a lot of Cybertrucks. Everyone that wanted one got it. Now no one, they can't move them at all. Tesla is moving forward with really robots and more robots. I think they're going to decrease car production. I mean, they're getting rid of the X and the S, so they're sticking with the 3 and the Y. I don't think they'll ever come out the Roadster, and they're probably going to discontinue the Cybertruck at some point in the near future because sales are dismal. So I think they're just fully going to concentrate on making robots and robo-taxis and perfecting FSD. Those two things will be fine. Just perfecting FSD would be huge. They could license that out to automakers. Automakers would pay dearly, pay a licensing fee to use FSD. It is by far the best. There's no other automaker that has anything close to FSD. That's their thing. Obviously, their infrastructure for supercharging is huge, but they already start licensing that out. But FSD could be applied to any car, not just EV. It could be applied to even gas-powered cars. And it is amazing. So they don't really need to sell cars, honestly. They could just perfect FSD and concentrate purely on robots and create a lot of robots, home robots and factory robots. Those two things could carry them to the moon already. You don't need cars. I do like my Cybertruck. I do. Mostly because of the FSD. Because it is really, really nice. I'm just waiting for them to come out unsupervised FSD so I can be on my phone and have it drive. Because it's gotten to that point where you could trust it almost fully. It's that good. So I'm just waiting for that to come out. Fifth Nail, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I have a friend that's selling a Cybertruck, Foundation Edition, so it's the Cyber Beast. He said he'll do it for 1 Bitcoin, and it only has 2,000 miles, and he has these awesome 24-inch rims on there. So if anyone's interested, I could refer them. I think his Cybertruck's in Texas, Austin, Texas, if anyone's in the area. Man, who's got some big buyers on Clash right now. 34 million. Look at that. We're back to where we started. Oh, it's getting volatile. I don't know. It's up and down. You need to make a Clash category when we hit 1 million subs. On what? Clash picks? We do have a Clash category already. We have one right here. Next amateur tournament will be this Friday. Tomorrow we'll have a pro tournament. And then Friday we'll have the amateur tournament. And something else with Clash picks. I think a lot of you guys know, you might not know, but we have a weekly leaderboard. So people that are making predictions and winning with P-Clash, again, which is given out for free, a lot of people are doing that. A lot of people are really good at it. They get to win a portion of the fees that the platform collects. So this week is projected to be 3,280 Clash, and then this is the breakdown, right? And that could actually go up a lot higher depending on the volume that we get. And this will be the biggest week. Last week we were about 1.6K. But outside of this, starting in March, we're doing something called Volume Championship. So we're going to give away 2 million Clash. Okay, this will start March 1st. So basically we will be giving this to the highest volume wallets that participate in our Soul pools and Clash pools. And we're going to be giving this out. So every month, starting in March, we'll give out 200,000 Clash. That's quite a lot. And the first place winner could win over $1,000 every single month. Depending on how high Clash goes, that could be several $1,000s a month to the first place winner, right? So we're starting this in March. But we have this out, getting people ready. And again, some of these things that we're doing, no one else is doing. And our platform looks so much better. Go on Polymarket right now and compare that to this. It's a clown show. Okay. The only thing that they have better right now is volume, obviously. They have a lot more volume than we do. But our site navigates and looks and feels so much more premium, and it works great. So this is what's going to carry Clash forward. No doubt about it. The tournaments are great, and I enjoy hosting them and playing in them. But if Clash Picks becomes one of the top prediction marketplaces, Clash is going well above $1 billion. Fei Long, Sol was added. USDT, not yet. If we add any stables, it'll be USDC because it's American based. But right now we introduced Sol, and we're going to see how it is. Yeah, World Cup will be on there. Starting in March, we'll have a whole bunch of stuff besides the Volume Championship. Okay, we're going to have a whole bunch of sports. You're going to have golf, all the PGA stuff, and there's another league called Live Golf or something. We're going to have all that. March Madness, that's a huge thing. We're going to have racing, NASCAR, F1 racing, right? We got all these things. It's going to be very, very exciting come March. I know for the market, like right now, I know a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people just don't want to look at the markets, right? They want things to get better. This is one of those times you just hunker down, right? Stop looking at your portfolio every day. Maybe enjoy Clash Picks a little bit. Use P-Clash. Don't use Clash or Sol. If you want to hold on to them, that's fine. Just use P-Clash. At least have some fun, enjoyment. Predict on things like about the State of the Union or sports or finance, politics, whatever you like. We got everything on there. I got like a whole bunch of people that's creating really good events. Now we're not so green. I was actually kind of surprised we were like really in the green. I would figure today is like an even day because everyone wants to hear what he says. Why don't I do DCA on streams anymore? Because I don't stream at night anymore. The DCA thing has always been at night, Wednesday night. I don't stream. A lot of times I don't put on a video at night anymore. Not because I'm lazy. It's just because there's not more things to talk about, right? I can see it, from the views and stuff. People just like are not tuning in as much. So I'm not going to force a video that has nothing, So that's why. You can still see it on my website, CryptosRUs.com. It's still there. You can see it. Are you looking at an on-ramp for a Clash picks? No, like right now, I'm not really worried. We will get more exchange listings. That's for sure. But like we're already on Coinbase, believe it or not. People don't realize that. If you go to our main webpage, GeorgePlaysClashRoyale.com, and go to how to buy, you could pull up your Coinbase app. Okay, and most of you guys are on Coinbase. You could pull up Coinbase and search for Clash, and it will appear. Okay, because Coinbase now, one of the great things that they've done is they integrated like DEX. They integrated like liquidity from DEXs, I should say. So you could actually find Clash on Coinbase. So I don't know where they're pulling liquidity from. Some people have said it's low, but you can buy Coinbase. I mean, you could buy Clash on Coinbase already, even without an official listing. But we have a built-in swap on Clash Picks. You just go to swap. You could swap your SOL or USDC or whatever for it. It's built on our website. So if you have a wallet, you have some SOL, you could do that. I mean, you could do it within Phantom. We have step-by-step. I spent a lot of time. Step-by-step direction. How to download Phantom, how to swap, how to search. It's all in here. And we have a lot of exchange partners too. I should add XT, BTC, FEMEX, MEXC, Moonshot app, which some people use. It's all there. It's quite simple. And as we grow, we will add more exchanges, and it's really going to be that simple. Right now, there's no point of really. I mean, there is a point, but right now it's going to be less less impactful. Okay. For a huge exchange listing because of the way the market is right now. But when the market improves, and imagine when we get official Kraken or Crypto.com or Coinbase or Binance listing, that's going to be much more impactful than now. But we've made it very simple. As simple as possible, really. I mean, I don't know how much more simple we can make it at this point. Yeah, we got this one up. My team just got this up. Will Trump announce the tariff rebates during the State of the Union today? I think someone mentioned it in live chat. I think there's a good chance that he might actually say yes. I mean, not say yes, announce this. Because I feel like he's in a position where he has to get people encouraged or hopeful on something. But honestly, even if this happens, you get $2,000 in tariff rebate. Is that going to change anything? Not really. It's great, extra $2,000 for groceries or whatever. But most of our investments are down way more than $2,000. So it's not really going to change anything, but it'll make a whole lot of people feel better because they're getting $2,000. But where's the money coming from? Some people may be asking. I don't know. We're going to have to probably print more money to make this happen. I don't think this is coming from those rebates or the tariffs we have collected, because now we have to give them back to the companies that we collected from. So it's kind of a mess. But, who knows? Who knows? You grow, I grow. Yeah, anywhere. Yeah, any Solana-based wallet or any wallet that supports Clash, you can swap. Just make sure you put in the right contract address. There are fake Clash coins out there, right? Imposters or whatever. The contract address is on our how to buy page, and I think it's in the description of this video. So make sure you use the right contract address. No, Nate, he said he could do it without Congress approval. That's what he said. Now, I don't know if that's actually true, but he has said he could do it without congressional approval. I don't know. He says a lot of stuff that I don't know if it's actually factual or not. I don't know if he's just saying it or people are telling him in his ear, yeah, you could do it. I honestly don't know at this point. I'm surprised gold and silver are not rallying more today. You figured they would be going up more. Neither one is. A masterclass troll. Well, I saw this. The change of pace. Meta strikes AI deal with AMD. It seems like Meta can't get enough NVIDIA GPUs, so they have to buy some from AMD, so that's good. AMD is just so far behind NVIDIA, it's not even funny, but they're in a good position because there is no one else. It's either you get GPUs from NVIDIA and AMD, or AMD, and if NVIDIA has no more to sell, then the second option is AMD. So, good for AMD. It's so funny. AMD is always like second fiddle. Like when I was growing up, it was always Intel and then AMD. Intel, AMD, right? And then now it's NVIDIA and AMD. It's like AMD can't catch a break. And now the gap between NVIDIA and AMD is wider than even Intel versus AMD. KDK, I appreciate that. You know, I'm here to help you guys stay cool-headed, hopefully, and calm and collected, and reassure you guys that things will get better, even though it's looking pretty bleak and dark right now. I know that. But we have been through this before. We have been through much, much worse before. I mean, you could go back some of my old videos towards crypto winter bottoms, man. Like just no one wanted to hold anything. Everyone just like was so depressed. But we got through those times. We got through those times. And we'll get through this time too. We will. We just have to wait it out. I think people forgot last year was like this too. From December to April last year, it was horrific. Things dropped even more. And then April was our bottom, and then we started recovering all the way until October. So it could be the same thing this time, this year too. We keep sliding until about April or May, and then we turn around. You know, anyone that bought in April towards that low made a killing. So it could be the same thing this time around too. We just don't know the exact bottom. No one knows, but you usually stay there for a while, and then you come back hard, ferociously. All right, guys, that is it. Let's see what happens tonight. Well, I mean, you know, the first of the day, and then we'll see what happens tonight. I think there's gonna be a lot of volatility. Okay, and everyone's looking for Trump to reassure the people that things are gonna be okay, and not only okay, they're gonna get better. Right now, all the tariff stuff seems to have gotten worse. And a lot of uncertainty. What about all these trade deals? They just go out the window. Every country is probably trying to renegotiate. What happened to Canada? What happened to Congress striking down the tariffs against Canada? Is that going to be reinstated with the new Section 301? I don't know. See, these are the things no one knows. Everyone has the same questions. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see some of you guys in Discord. Go check out Clash Picks. A lot of new predictions up or events up for you guys to make predictions on. All right? Have a good one. Take care.